We got thumbs up from all sides. We'll count them down in
3, 2, 1. Tetris! Buko.
So we got the most, I think, most prominent person on this stream so far. I mean, they're all quite notable in their own right. Have all been to multiple live events, but we got Terry Purcell, one of my favorite players. He was featured very prominently in the Best of 5 documentary that released, I think, just last year, a long time in the making. Shoutouts to Chris Higgins, its producer, and like it's everything. It feels like.
You should go watch it. I highly recommend it.
And
I may or may not have done some stunts in it.
Oh. And honestly, I think Terry's chapter was really one of my favorites. I really loved just seeing his mind and like how he approached things. And I don't know. I think I could learn a thing or two from what was going on right there. His opponent is SnowyTetris, and I had the privilege of commentating him for Snowy because he was qualifying on CT4. Put together some pretty good games. Started out with like a 600. 660, I think. It was pretty solid, but he actually chose not to submit it because he was like, yeah, I could do better. And then an hour later, he did better.
Would you say that Snowy is a chill guy?
Snowy is quite the chill guy. But up on the top, we got Cole and Redshirts, both of whom are part of the newer generation, both of whom are more known as tappers, rollers, for the most parts. Both of whom have been playing DAS more consistently recently in preparation for this tournament. Redshirt, I know, got 2 PBs, 2, in the hour and 30 minutes of qualifying. Did all this training, and it all paid off in spectacular fashion. He is 21st seed. That's quite impressive. All right. The game so far, pretty even, I'd say. Cole down 18,000 points with a pretty similar line count. Redshirt being slightly more efficient. All stacks have been quite clean. I've been quite pleased with what I've seen so far. Terry with a very slight lead, but I think if Snowy clears 2 singles,
they'll be separated by a couple pushdown points. Yep.
8 pushdown points on the side of Snowy. And yeah, there's that 8. It is literally 0.00 Tetris difference. That is as close as it gets.
I mean, hey, some games have come down to pushdown points.
But a slight misdrop on the side of Terry, but his left side was so high, and this is a beautiful stacking pattern where you just have such like a discrepancy between the left and the right side that even if you have a mistake like that, which you are probably going to run into just because it's a more aggressive type of play, you're able to get out of it because you set up an escape hatch.
Yeah, it's very easy, especially on the level 18 speed, to try and go for something, and then it's like, oh, it doesn't quite get over there. Like maybe you had partial dash or you missed a quick tap. But if your left is built up so high, that's a lot of rows that you're able to burn down and then try and mitigate that misdrop.
All right, and we saw there was barely a problem from him. He is still in the lead by like 2/3 of a Tetris, pretty much. But Snowy, right up there with him. Snowy stayed clean this entire time, getting a Tetris of his own.
Up top, it's a really close game, separated by a single.
Separated by a single, right? If Cole gets the single, then he would have tied Redshirt, but he does not. He does not want it. It's all players at all times looking to just only get Tetrises, and the way that you have to do that is to make sure that the surface at the top, the surface of all the blocks that you've placed, looks good. And what does good mean? Well, that is what these players are trying to figure out. Everybody has like their own concept of what the ideal stacking is like, and it is realized here. We use direct comparison to see whose concept is better, and that is what competitive Classic Tetris is all about.
It's very interesting, especially when you get into match play, because sometimes you might end up playing like a little bit safer, or also it could depend completely on how comfortable you are with your mechanics. Some DAS players would just play naturally more aggressive because they feel confident in the way that they're able to play.
It's a bit like track and field, I'd say, in the sense where like you're at the end of the day running your own race, doing your only thing, but the fact that you're put right next to another person does have effects, however subtle. Yeah. We can see Cole's so high. Redshirt's also high, but he can't get out immediately.
Ooh, I love that. Able to get that eyepiece over. Nice Tetris over there for Redshirt.
Right. And they were both able to break free, but those are the kind of situations that can kill you if you have the wrong set of pieces. Fortunately, we didn't see that there, and they're going to be looking to avoid getting into that same situation in the first place.
You're seeing a tricky situation over here for Snowy. A drought, and the well is covered. Reopens it. Needs this eyepiece. Needs it now for maybe a final Hail Mary. Doesn't come. Terry's going to take game number 1 after a 32-piece drought.
Wow. And there we go. Yeah, Terry staying really, really clean, actually, throughout the entire thing. And we saw him actually get into a bit of a situation, but that was right at the same time Snowy did. So it seems like there is a piece sequence that was unfavorable for both of them at the same time, but it was Terry who was able to work his way through. He could have kept going all day.
Speaking about going all day, Cole might need to bring the stack down and keep going all day. And that's going to be a top foul. Can't quite get it over. Made the adjustment, but didn't have enough dash, or didn't go for the quick tap. So Redshurt is going to take game number 1 by just a Tetris.
But that was a brilliant attempt. He had to react to the bar in the next piece, double flip the J piece, and he did it, and he was almost there, but it's such a tricky movement, and there's so little time to really compose yourself in between that.
3, 2, 1, Tetris.
So I've been talking a lot about clean stacks, and I suppose I should elaborate a bit more on like what this looks like. So generally, the two main concepts are you want a place for every piece and a piece for every place. So what this means is that regardless of what piece you get, you want to be able to fit it on the surface, and you also want every surface to be able to sort of accommodate a lot of different pieces. So if we take a look at Snowy's board, for example, we can see there is a big bar dependency, make that 2 bar dependencies, and that's uncomfortable because only one piece can go there. On the other hand, for Terry Purcell's board, even though he has some holes which he has now uncovered, if we look at the surface was so nice. He has a lot of slopes.
Oh, misdrop over there for Redshurt.
But he's able to get out of it. He has 2 burns. Yeah, that's so comfortable.
Okay.
He's able to bring that nice tuck.
A little
And
scary.
Yeah, Cole's going to have to do something similar right there. Chooses to go for the bar fill, and I think the general wisdom nowadays is that you want to fill in the bar dependency before taking the Tetris. But with Das, it becomes a little blurrier in my eyes, just because there is that risk of having less mobility to work with.
I do agree. It depends on where that bar dependency is as well. And on the level speed too, generally on level 19, I'll always take the Tetris as opposed to filling the bar dependency, just to bring my stack down lower, and then maybe I can deal with like the bar dependency in some way. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of Z's. Talk about a snooze fest.
Oh my god. Yeah, both Cole and Redshurt being affected by this, neither in great scoring position. But as I say that, Redshurt manages to clean himself free just in time for a long bar. I think Cole was just a little bit later, so he's going to have to wait, but there the bar comes. Down at the bottom, we have a very, very close match.
It's been a tricky opener for the bottom, and so players have kind of like struggled to find like a consistent scoring rhythm. They'll score Tetris, and then pieces will not be cooperative, and then now they're having to do some burning. But it seems like Snowy has found that rhythm, and Terry has now just started to get in tune with that as well.
Wow. All right, very nice fill for that. His board is pristine. And yeah, let's take a look at Snowy's board. Let's see what he's doing well, because he's doing a lot of things really well. Unfortunately, had to remove spots for the SPs right as the SPs come. Sometimes it just happens. It's very hard to tell what can be improved and what is inherent to the RNG, especially when he gets like pieces like that. You have to juggle getting efficient down stacks with making clean stacks. And sometimes you're like kind of asking the game to be nice to you. In this case, the game decided it would be unkind. But we'll see if it can make up for that. A J piece fits right into that hole. And when you're down stacking, you want to go 1 row at a time. He's focusing on that hole in the 4th row. All right, he's going to try and get the surface to be less jagged on top of it. The bar will be great. The T piece even better. And he's now almost out of it. With a couple more pieces, he's going to be able to burn his way all the way clean. J piece is perfect. But now a bit of a dependency in the middle. He's going to wait. Doesn't come. He's going to wait, but Terry Purcell up really high. I don't know if he can get out of this if he doesn't get the right pieces. He takes the T-burn. He goes with the tuck instead of burning it out. That's crazy. He's a madman, but he's a madman that is alive, and he's surviving a drought that is at 32 pieces. He gets the Tetris. He is alive. He has
done.
2/3 of a Tetris advantage over Snowy, who has finally gotten out of his garbage. In spite of all of that, he is still very much in it.
That's the thing with droughts, is because whenever you're in a drought, your opponent also cannot score. So then those are the perfect time to get out of digs. Yeah. 260,000 for Terry, 239 for Snowy. Up top, 287 for Redshurt, and 334 for Cole, who's taking a 3 Tetris lead here around the 90 line mark.
He's been making some very nice plays. He's going to be able to fill in. Well, the pieces made it a little bit difficult to fill it in, but it's the L right there. Lets him get Tetris ready right as the bar arrives. Perfect timing. And this one's even easier. Redshirts is, of course, no stranger to clean stacks. He is going to be ready as soon as the piece comes for the right side. There it is. So now it is his turn to wait. We saw Coal Buckets with the Tetris, and Redshirt's now getting the Tetris at around the same time. So this is a bit of an interesting strategy you can use when you're behind in the piece sequence, as like Redshirt is. Now it is very much slightly closer, where you can actually take a look at the pieces your opponent's getting, because we give them the same pieces in fairness. We'll have to see whether Redshirt is employing this strategy. It can backfire, though. Notably, NGC Man last year was very, very aggressive about trying to record the exact piece sequence. But I'm not sure if the extra mental burden had an effect on him if he was trying to maybe overplan. So it's not necessarily an advantage. I think some people...
Speaking about... Oh, hold on, Cole. This is a little bit tricky, especially this close to transition. Only 10 lines to go.
He has the ability to do so. Line spin is crucial, but did not trust his dash afterwards, so could not continue with the optimal follow-up. Does spot the optimal follow-up right there with the rotated adjustments at the last second.
Only 3 lines to go, and these alternating burn shelves are a little bit tricky. 1 line left.
Oh, chooses to transition with that left? But he gets the bar!
Gets it over, is going to stand it up in the center. Would love LRJ. Not going to go for any of the burns.
Oh, he holds out, and that was 100% the right call with those pieces. That's so tricky.
There it is. Tetris for Cole. 504 for Cole. 466 for Redshirt. Down at the bottom. 422 for Terry. And 405 for Snowy. So all players are on the level 19 speed now. Cole has brought the board all the way down to the bottom. Or down to a lower height. Not quite down to the bottom.
I really want to take another second to just applaud the really immaculate decision-making from Coal Bucket. They might not be known as top dash players, but they are certainly top Tetris players, and that means that you have to be making tough decisions like that, and he did that to perfection.
Oh, all right. That's going to be a big L. Drow's going to prevent Redshirt from scoring any further, but now that 3 Tetris lead that Cole had is all but evaporated. Terry in some tricky situation as well.
Does he survive this, though? He's going to need a piece.
Oh, nice quick tap.
Oh!
But, ooh, cascading problems. Terry's going to top it at 485, so Snowy needs 486.
All right, this is a Tetris. Basically 2 Tetrises at this point. Can do it with 1 with a lot of burns. Can do it with 0 with many, many more burns.
Ooh, a bit of a hangover there for Redshirt. Board is open.
And a high board for Snowy. Maybe he overcommitted, but he gets the Tetris. And now he's going to probably play it safe, just single out all the way to the end. He is looking at his first win in the match to tie it up. But the match up top is very much alive.
Now Cole is the one that's trailing by 2 Tetrises.
And Redshirt's board is so, so clean. Look at that. It's a place for everything. Takes the burn, still Tetris ready, gets the Tetris. Cole still working on this problem down low. He's going to need to get out of that if he wants to stay alive. Snowy also down low, but for a very different reason. He is looking to guarantee this win.
Only a couple more burns are needed over here for Snowy. And that's going to be good. Snowy takes game 2 and ties up the set. But up top, 657 for Redshirt, 561 for Cole. And Cole is also ahead in line slightly. And now this is a 100,000 point deficit.
100,000 points, but Redshirt is a little messy. We'll have to see how quickly he can get out of this. And it looks like it's going to be very quick indeed.
Good timing of both of those long bars. But now Cole has to go pedal to the metal, needs every single Tetris here, and then needs Redshirt to make some kind of mistake to slow him down, but he's not slowing down. There's another Tetris, 728 now.
This is 4.5 Tetrises, and just getting
a couple misdrops for Cole.
Just getting 4 Tetrises at all, just from this line count even, is so hard, especially when you have an opponent that continues to play efficient. What will Redshirt do?
I think Redshirt's going to keep scoring. The better question is, what can Cole do?
Well, he's clean and is unfortunately just a 1 line shy of getting 4 more in.
Oh! Almost had the setup, but just another misdrop that's not fatal, but it's real tedious to survive and be efficient about it. And with only a couple more lines left to level 29, it's not much that Cole can do. Trying to find something here. Maybe get 1 more Tetris. O-Piece can find his way over there to the left.
Wait, what is
Gets the Tetris. Nicely done. 674.
What is Redshirt doing? He's so high up, and he's still surviving, and he Loses dash right at the last possible second.
But that 674 means that Redshirt's going to be good for game number 2 and is now on match point.
Yeah. Give it up for Colebucket, though. He got really close to his qualifying score. Oh, did he? Wait. I want to say it was like around 700 something. I don't exactly remember, but... And that was a game that like basically made it all the way. He made Redshirt fights. And fights he did in spectacular fashion. I think...
Oh, that's going to be an early top out from Terry, I believe?
Oh, wow, okay. And yeah, Snowy's already ahead.
So I guess that's game 3 already to Snowy. 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
Oh, we got the double Z opener. Immediate difference in perspective between Snowy and Terry Purcell. I would say I like Snowy slightly more, but it certainly worked out for Terry.
I find myself doing sometimes a lot of the Z to the left just because of certain pieces that can tuck neatly underneath. Or not Z to the left, Z to the right. Just because of certain pieces that can tuck underneath. Sometimes it does backfire, but other times it has allowed me to be just a little bit more efficient if the pieces do allow for it.
Yeah, and it's really just like such a miserable opener that you know your opponent's also not going to be like having a great time with it too, so whatever works. All right. Cole with a very nice stack. The key to being able to live forever in Classic Tetris is to have a very high left and a slightly lower right side. The trade-off of this is that you have to burn several times, and that's high stacks can also cause hangs like what Cole has just experienced. He gets the bar, is able to clear out of it, but now he's going to have to like bring this tree all the way down, while Redshirt just has a nice, clean stack. He's going to be working off of that. He's going to be getting Tetrises. He's ready for one. He receives one immediately, and that is great news for Redshirt. Horrible news for Colebucket, who's in a rather complicated situation. Down at the bottom, we have a same story all the way throughout. It's pretty similar paces, but it's Snowy who has, I'd say, the current advantage, both in lines cleared, but especially because Terry's having to work through this very unbalanced stack. All right, makes a weird shift at the last minute. I think he was expecting a wall there, but his line piece is going to clear that garbage nicely, and now he is finally out, but at what cost? The advantage is 1.77 Tetrises on the side of Snowytris, who has the advantage in matches as well. He does have 2 hearts. We will need production to update stats for Snowy, unless there is like a situation where like there was like a false starts or something weird.
This is do or die for our players on the left.
Actually, yeah, I'm not sure if I'm not too sure about the heart count. If we can get a check on that, if that was a false starts, maybe for their match, or if Snowy is up 2-1. Huh? Not a false start. Okay, cool. Okay, and it has been updated. Thank you, production. Everybody say thank you, production.
Yeah, this is do or die for our players on the left. Cole, got a little bit of a scare there. And, sometimes it's very easy for the pressure when you're down 2-0, when you'll just get into that and you potentially could freeze up.
Right, and it's so tricky, but he is making it work. He is down 5 Tetrises, which is pretty substantial. But if you can keep pace with Redshirt, that lead is actually going to decrease, even if Redshirt isn't scoring more Tetrises. And the reason is because they start getting worth more, so Cole can take more advantage of the line clears that Redshirt can't.
Redshirt went for an adjustment, didn't have enough dash to capitalize on it, but still got another J piece.
I didn't even.
And sometimes it will be like that.
It will be like that. I didn't even see the mess. That's how fast he got out of it. Cole gets 2 squares to fill the 2x4. Gets it again, and that is maybe one of the most aesthetically satisfying things you can really encounter, because the 4 wide gaps tend to be a bit awkward to deal with. But there is a pretty rare occurrence to getting 2 squares in a row, and that happened twice. All right, down at the bottom, Terry continuing to trail now by 2 Tetrises. With about pretty similar line counts, might be able to gain 1 right here if the bar comes in a timely manner. But Snowy is down stacking. He takes several burns to get out of his situation. Terry might have to take several burns to hold out for this Tetris. 21-piece droughts. That is just enough to be uncomfortable, but also low enough that all top players should be expected to survive them, and both did with the relative ease.
But the difference was Terry was able to use every single long bar that came through after that drought for a Tetris and close the gap immediately. Snowy was down stacking the entire time.
Yeah. That's how volatile this game is. You get into a dig, and if it lasts like a little longer than you're expecting, then your opponent has all this time to Tetris, and you can see your lead vanish like that.
Nice adjustment over there from Terry. Just barely had enough dash to get that over.
The lead has certainly not vanished for Redshurt. I think it's actually slightly increased 6.85 Tetrises. That is commanding, but it can all be erased in an instant if he is not able to weather the early stages of level 19.
It's a very tough position for Cole, having to play from behind. Also, opponent's on match point. But this is where, you know, champions are made. You got to get through the nitty-gritty. This is not over until the pieces reach the top. And speaking about pieces reaching the top, Snowy is able to bring it down from getting too out of control.
Those are some very nice bars, timed at the best possible positions. He had so many good options, and he chose one of them, and he's rewarded by getting out with one more piece. There we go. Yeah.
There it is, just in time before transition, because we're about to transition for all our players.
Yeah,
so what amazing time to get out of that dig.
128, 129, 128, 127.
Couple of missteps over here for Redshurt.
Oh, he's holding out for it, but it's not happening.
The long bar, and it doesn't come. Redshurt tops it at 574.
It's such a hard decision to make because even if you go for the triple, he didn't have any way to burn after that. So, but now Cole has to make this chase down, and it's not free. He's gonna need anywhere from 0 to 3 Tetrises.
Speaking about not free, this dig for Terry is a little bit on the costlier side, gonna evaporate that lead, but the survival is key here. Terry is down 2-1. Needs this to go to a decider.
Gets the soft quick tap right there. We'll get another one. And he locks it in. Will he get a third? He does. Yes, the quick taps are being hit. Cole continues to chase this down. Is now down to 50,000 points. Terry getting this Tetris finally. A powerful statement after having to get out of that situation.
Wow, what a quick tap on that eyepiece as well.
But it was worth it too.
It's the right move.
But the wrong pieces right after.
Terry's finding a way. Nice adjustment on the T-piece. Does Terry commit to this?
Oh,
Terry's committing to it.
Cole's kind of committing to his situation. He gets a Tetris up top.
And Snowy's in trouble. Those hangs are going to be fatal, so Terry forces a decider down at the bottom.
He's already in the lead, and up at the top, we have a chase down situation for Cole Bucket. He needs 11,000 points. Make that 4,000. This double might be it. It is not. He needs 1,000 more points. It is 100-point difference. 100 points. He could push down and probably not make the difference. But he could also single.
And there it is. Both of our players on the left take games off of players on the right. We have a decider down at the bottom, and Cole stays alive. And what mental resilience on display there from Cole. 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
So the bottom match, this is it. This is everything is on the line right here. Snowy is seed 45 compared to Terry Purcell's seed 20, but he did take a 2-1 lead in the set counts.
It's just that early top out from Terry that we missed because we were focusing on the action that was going up top.
Yeah, and it looks like there's going to be some consistent action. There's action on Cole Bucket's board and on Redshirt's, both needing tucks, both needing the pieces. And Redshirt's able to get his first. He has 2 options. Cole only has 1, and it has now been received. Say it with me, everybody. Nice Vits.
Thank you, Jasmine, when you need her. 49,000 now for Cole, trying to get things still kind of situated. Down at the bottom, it's like everything is kind of clean. Seems like our players up top have been having to deal with a little bit more tricky pieces with respect to their current boards.
Yeah.
Definitely nothing like super complicated, just annoyingly tedious.
I will say that Cole has been like maybe struggling a bit with like getting into the messy situations, but I think part of that is because he's trying so much advanced stuff. Like he's going for every spin, he's setting up every tuck.
Definitely when you're playing with that, you got to be careful because all it takes is one mistuck or one misspin, and then now you got to adjust your entire game plan.
Oh, this board is kind of uncomfortable. No spot for that SPs, but is able to make his own luck.
Both players up top having to deal with this drought. Redshirt. Oh, that misdrop.
And he hangs early.
There's still a chance. It's
Is
going to be
there?
tough.
Can he get the quick tap to the right? But in this shit,
Oh.
sealed. No.
And that's the early top out by Redshirt, so now we have a decider up top.
Oh my gosh. You can never count anybody out when it comes to DAS. They're going to get this set up. Cole is riding all of the momentum, and Redshirt really needs to clean up some of these mistakes. All right, and I do think that Cole like pretty conclusively won that match because they were affected by the same drought, and Cole stayed clean. Redshirt covered up as well, and then was forced to like stay high up.
And then when you're staying up that high, the pressure does build, and it's very easy to just make a small misdrop because you're eager to get a piece over to like the left or the right, and that sometimes the eagerness sometimes causes the early dash shift.
All right, we got readies, so we'll count them down in. Wait, do we have readies? Okay, we'll count them down in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. I saw Cole Bucket engage in conversation with the judge, and I didn't know if there was anything that we needed to wait for. And speaking of conversation, look at Terry's score, 71% Tetris rates. Pretty solid lead. We're gonna choose to take the large burn.
Yeah, wasn't sure. I thought that maybe the kind of aggressive Terry might have came out and gone set up for that.
Yeah,
Decided to just get the set clean. And we are in a decider, and sometimes you'll see players play a little bit safer just because they know that this is the last game of the set. It's do or die now. Ooh, the adjustment from Terry there.
Oh, some very nice slow taps. I kind of want to talk about DAS controversy. DAS controversy on the set now that we brought up slow taps. Because this is interesting. I wonder, I think we spend a lot of time trying to come up with the rules for this. And it's very tricky to draw the line between what is considered DAS and what is not considered DAS. And many people have talked about this before. And one of the more contentious aspects is what you do when you lose DAS. All right, you can choose to like wait like a quarter of a second so the pieces already have to be down the screen, and then you charge it all the way up, and then you start playing. Or you could just tap a little bit and try and get a wall charge. All right, and like some amount of tapping should be valid because this is quite literally how every new player will play the game. And it seems a bit silly to like say that, oh, they're not allowed to do DAS when this is supposed to be the accessible playstyle, but on the other hand, you can go kind of fast. So I like to take a look and see how like a lot of the earliest generation, how fast they can do their slow taps, and use that to judge what's okay for us. So thank you, Terry. You are contributing to my thesis.
But now that you bring up the topic of slow taps, do we have anything to mitigate that with our Tetris cards that we're playing on?
Oh, we do. We have this special DAS ROM developed by Kataru, inspired by the implementation from Kuryava. And what this does is it prevents any taps from occurring too close together, around the range of like 6 to 5 frames, depending on how long the tap is. And we try and be a little bit forgiving, but you're not going to be seeing any 30 hertz movements in the last seconds. The cartridges will not physically allow it. Shout outs to our wonderful developers, and shout outs to our wonderful players who are playing right now. Terry and Snowy about to hit transition, and they are so close.
Yeah, 88 points is what separates them. This is it, do or die. Terry set up with the left well. Get a little old school Harry honk here.
But it seems to be backfiring a little bit. He's going to bring this down pretty wise. I would not want this board in early level 19.
And it's just really the timing of these specific jagged pieces. Gets an S piece, has nowhere good to put it. Gets a Z piece, forced to burn with it. Ooh, okay, setting up for a center.
Yeah, and Terry in the lead for most of this match, but now it's Snowy who's going to have the advantage going into transition. Clutches the 500.
There's 487 for Terry, 503 for Snowy, and another Tetris for Terry. This is it, game number 5. The final transition of this match for Snowy and Terry.
Right. As they play, we can also see how the game up top is going, and that's also really close. That is a decider. And both players not really making any obvious mistakes right now. So it could be anyone. Terry up quite high when it comes to DAS, takes a triple, takes a double, and is fortunately out of Tetris-ready contention.
Sometimes that's what you have to do because this is the decider. If you're not comfortable with the board on 19, you shouldn't play into that uncomfortability because that sometimes could lead to misdrops.
Oh, but a nice quick tap, but he covers the well once again.
Board is clean though, and lost Das.
Can he get out of this? The board's really high. He's gonna need a
Didn't go
bar
for the
like
bird.
now.
Needs
He
the
gets the
bar.
bar now. He's ahead, but the left side is inaccessible. Now the right is as well, and he tops out.
555, not over yet. Again, Snowy with a small misdrop. And
He does.
that's gonna be good enough. Snowy takes game number 5 and advances to the next round.
Seed 45 defeats Seed 20. This is Classic Dash.
I think that might be.
It's one of the bigger seed upsets I think we've seen in recent memory. Usually the qual system is like shockingly good. Abnormally so. You know what else is abnormally good? Redshirt and cold buckets. Look at there, they're about to reach transition. Both of them inching at the 500K. But it's cold bucket with the advantage this time.
Not only that, Kobuk is coming in with the momentum of winning the last 2 games, and now is riding that to potentially win a third, complete the reverse sweep, and advance to the next round.
All right, so we did see in the longest game that I would say Redshirt does seem more comfortable on 19, but Cole was actually making some impressive moves along the way too, surviving all the way. So we'll have to see what happens, I think, but I think that is where the match will be decided.
A couple burns forced over here for Cole.
Oh, he's already at 500, and he has 3 more, make that 2.
Looking at a 500K transition potentially. There's one Tetris over there for Redshirt. And should be able to get set up for, deciding to kind of build up that left. So couldn't use that eyepiece for a Tetris. Goes for the skim, nice. A 520 transition for Redshirt here in game 5. And a 579 for Cole.
Redshirt getting an immediate Tetris, cold bucket having to downstack a little more, but both players running into some jagged stacks.
And small misdrop for Redshirt. So Redshirt's gonna have to commit some burns here in early level 20, but that's gonna be a beautiful flat burn, another nice flat burn, and brings the stack down to a more comfortable spot, and Cole's not in a position to capitalize. The pieces hasn't been entirely cooperative. So still gonna hold on to this just over 1 Tetris lead, but now Redshirt is itching to get into a scoring position first between the two.
I wonder if Cole's gonna build one up or if he's gonna build to the bottom. Redshirt's, again, not practicing his shadow tease. Cold bucket with a center well, and he gets it.
Knocks it down. 623 and now 567, separated by just over 2 Tetrises. Good burn over there for Cole.
Good burn for Redshirts. Look at what he did with that bar.
Try to go for the delay burn, but unfortunately the pieces that follow afterwards weren't too helpful. Able to get that eyepiece over to the left, reopens up the well. Redshirt now set up for a Tetris, and finally knocks one down. 600,000 now 632.
And the center well is so volatile for Cold Bucket. It helped him before, but now he has the left side to take care of, and he's going to have to burn it down. He's staying alive, but so many wasted burns, and it's going to allow Redshirt to maybe get into it, but he needs to nail this Tetris.
There it is, Tetris over there for Redshirt. Went a little bit aggressive, but that was much needed. And Cole now committed to this center well. No, it's just going to burn it all the way down to the right-hand side. But because of that center well being constructed all the way since level 19, so many burns were wasted. There's another triple for Cole. And Redshirt with that Tetris takes the lead.
Cold Bucket with 3 lines in hand. He can maybe bring this back immediately.
Oh, dirty Tetris set up over here for Redshirt. There's a misdrop. Needs the long bar. Needs it now. Finds it. Opens up. No, doesn't decide to open up the well yet.
But he's low enough that he might be able to get okay.
2,600 points is what separates
us.
Oh,
there's no way he gets this.
Hits the spin. Needs the eyepiece, but no, it's just going to take the burn because guess what? We're running into a drop, but there's another misdrop over there for Redshirt and hangs another piece. Needs the eyepiece. The drop continues to grow. 27 pieces, not going to come. Cole, completing the reverse sweep, takes game number 5 and advances to the next round.
That was somehow Seed 45 defeating Seed 44, defeating Seed 21. We have 2 upsets here in this group. And yeah, I want to talk a little bit about what was happening to Redshirt at the end. And it looks like there were multiple mistakes, but I really feel like it was just one.